Bei der amerikanischen Gruppe CHAD, Kinder und Erwachsene mit ADS, handelt es sich zum Beispiel um die größte und bestfinanzierte Tarnorganisation für die Hersteller von Stimulantien. Stephen Plog ist eine ehemalige Führungskraft von CHAD.
When I became the CHAD coordinator for Las Vegas, they gave me a manual, and in it said, we want to provide unbiased information to help and support people who have ADD. For the next 30 days, we put 22 parents and their kids on a program with lab tests to find out what their causes were, eliminated their causes, they got prescription-free, medication-free, side effect-free, and they got better with their self-esteem, and they became actually happier, healthier, and more successful. Chad found out about this, called me up and says, we do not allow people to talk about nutrition in any of our seminars. We only prescribe going to a psychiatrist who will only prescribe drugs and therapy. So they said you can no longer work with us, and they fired me for simply recommending that parents go get a lab test, find out what the causes are, and eliminate the causes. They do not allow that. They only allow medication and psychiatric treatment.
Psychiatrische Patienten-Selbsthilfegruppen werben auch für Psychopharmaka, indem sie auf breiter Ebene Marketingumfragen verteilen, die wie medizinische Fragebogen aussehen.
You can take a survey of maybe 16 questions. And if you are a normal human being who's lived through ranges of emotions of normal life experience, if you've known the exhilaration of the birth of a child, a niece, a nephew, and the devastation of a divorce and the loss of dreams, and answer honestly to those questions, you will diagnose yourself as bipolar. And the instructions that come back along with the diagnosis or the warning that you're probably bipolar say, print this out and take it to your doctor.
Wie einfach ist es, im Internet ein paar Fragen über sein Leben zu beantworten und dann mit einer psychischen Störung abgestempelt zu werden. Dies sind einige zufällig ausgewählte Freiwillige verschiedener Altersgruppen, die ein völlig normales Leben führen.
Do you feel sad, blue, unhappy, or down in the dumps? Sometimes.
I've had periods of great optimism and other periods of equally great pessimism. Yeah, that happens a little bit.
I get tired for no reason. Sometimes.
My life is pretty full. Nah, not really.
For no apparent reason, I sometimes have been very angry or hostile.
It's hard for me to concentrate on reading.
I am restless and can't keep still.
My heart beats faster than usual.
I have trouble sleeping, shortness of breath.
Gained weight.
Trembling hands.
I have an idea that most of these are going to be sometimes.
Everyone has.
As in everybody?
Somewhat.
Somewhat true.
Just a little.
Oh yeah, I am.
Alright, my score totaled 42. Bipolar disorder, moderate to severe symptoms. Wow.
The answer reflects on the presence of depressive symptoms.
Currently suffering from an anxiety disorder.
I may be suffering from bipolar 1.
Minimal to mild depression.
An obsessive compulsive disorder.
Guess that means I'm a psycho.
Guess I'll go to a psych. Try to see if I could work it out, get some meds or something.
Bei 50% dieser normalen Menschen wurde eine psychische Störung diagnostiziert und sie wurden angewiesen, sich behandeln zu lassen. Demnach könnte die Hälfte der US-Bevölkerung, etwa 150 Millionen Amerikaner, als geisteskrank eingestuft werden.
Now you have a direct line of consumers just walking in with a little pre-survey that says that they potentially can have bipolar, ADHD, stress, anxiety, any of those categories, and they just need to take this assessment tool and say, okay, that basically that is what you have and here's your drug.
Mittlerweile fordern Psychiater lautstark, dass derartige Tests vorgeschrieben werden. Beispiel das Teenscreen-Programm. Unter dem Vorwand eines Programms zur Verhinderung von Selbstmorden werden an US-Schulen Tests zur psychischen Gesundheit durchgeführt, um Kinder zu diagnostizieren und auf Psychopharmaka zu setzen. Kinder wie Chelsea Rhodes sind betroffen. Sie ging eines Morgens als normaler Teenager zur Schule und kam mit einer psychiatrischen Diagnose nach Hause.
The Rhodes family in Indiana, their young girl went to school one day, and all of a sudden they told her they were taking her into her room, and they move her into her room and give her the 10-minute teen screen test. And shortly after taking the test, she's pulled aside in the hallway and she's told she has two problems, basically two mental problems. One, obsessive compulsive disorder, and social anxiety disorder.
Her parents were stunned, dumbfounded. They didn't know the teen screen was going to screen their child. They had not been asked permission.
The people at school had told her that she was mentally ill with these two conditions based off of a computer test that took her 10 minutes to answer. One of the questions was worded if Chelsea went out a lot. She answered no. We'd ask her why she answered that way. She said, because Mom, you and Dad don't allow us to go out on school nights. I have to be home to do my homework and take care of our household chores. The other question was, do you ever feel nervous or anxious when you're in front of a group of your friends or peers? Chelsea answered yes. She explained to us that because when she has to stand up in front of a group of people and give a book report in one of her classes, she's very nervous. You know, I'm 43 years old and I'm nervous in front of every one of you today, but that doesn't make me mentally ill.
I absolutely believe that the survey for Teen Screen was intentionally structured to flag as many children as possible as having a possible mental health problem.
Wer rief Teen Screen ins Leben und schrieb diese Umfrage? Dr. David Schaffer, ein Psychiater mit weitreichenden finanziellen Verbindungen zur Pharmaindustrie. Schaffers Fragebogen ist alles andere als wissenschaftlich. In einer Studie, die er selbst durchgeführt hat, gab er zu, dass 84% aller Schüler fälschlicherweise als selbstmordgefährdet bezeichnet wurden. Es wurde allerdings nicht zugegeben, wie traumatisch die Konsequenzen davon sein können. Alea Gleason war 11 Jahre alt, als sie in ihrer Realschule in Texas einen Test machte.
It was 7th grade, and they had all the girls go into the cafeteria because they said that a lot of girls have depression, so they was working on some depression screen.
Next thing I know, there's those middle schools tell my husband now that CPS is there at the school taking Alea because she's suicidal.
I'm like, suicide? I'm not trying to kill myself. I love myself. I've always loved myself.
So I don't know if she was eating at the school or they'd already taken her away.
When they took Alea, my girls and I, we didn't sleep for about a good 3 days. For the first 3 days, because my house was empty without her.
And they was making me sign papers talking about if you don't take these medicines, you can't see your parents. So they was telling me, you know, if you take your medicine, you can see your parents.
My daughter was on 22 different types of medication that this one psychiatrist gave her.
They drugged me up so bad that they said they had to drag me. And I used to wonder how I got to my room.
When I saw for myself what they were giving her and how much and how often, I just thought, they're gonna kill this child. And the parents were helpless.
Then after a while, that's when I was just like, I'm not about to take no more medicine until I call my parents. And then that's when they was like, okay, well, we're gonna give it to you anyways. They restrained me and shot me up. I was in 4 points. They laid me out on my stomach with my feet like this and tied me up.
One day, they must have put her in about 12 restraints in one day.
They said I was restrained about 70 or 80 times. After a couple of months, they was like, you know, your parents don't want to see you. They don't want to talk to you or anything. So I was really hurt.
We tried everything. Nobody know. We didn't know what hospital. We didn't even know where they taking her.
After 2 weeks, you're supposed to hear, or you're supposed to be able to see your child. They didn't give me that. I didn't see Alea till 6 months later.
But I was a good child. I didn't deserve for that. And it messed up a lot of things. To this day, I still wish that I could just go back and be like, man, you know what, I'm not even gonna take the test.
I would always tell every parent I see, and they was asking me, don't do the team screening, because it will mess up your family.
Es gibt immer mehr derartige psychiatrische Reihenuntersuchungen. Allein im Rahmen des Teen Screen-Programms werden gegenwärtig Hunderttausende Schulkinder in über 500 amerikanischen Schulen in 43 Bundesstaaten getestet.
Has nothing to do with helping kids, has nothing to do with mental health, has nothing to do with medicine. It has everything to do with the pushing of drugs.
So it presents itself as being a wonderful, altruistic program, whereas in fact, I believe its cold-blooded and cold-hearted intent is to recruit more children into the very subjective diagnoses of mental illness and to treat those kids with medication.
Das Propagieren von Psychopharmaka endet aber nicht im Klassenzimmer. Durch Gesetze wurde der Weg geebnet, um alle Bürger auf Geisteskrankheit hinzutesten. Auch geriatrische Patienten, Kriegsveteranen und Schwangere. Alles auf ihre Kosten.
Psychiatrists benefit from both ends, from the pharmaceutical end for being paid to write the prescription, and then from the patient for being there to receive the prescription.
It's an industry that cannot allow the human condition to go unmedicated, and I think this is where the problem begins.
If everybody considers themselves to be sick in some way or more than one way, and that the only control, the only hope for their happiness is to be on pills for the rest of their lives, that's the goal.
The pharmaceuticals and the psychiatric community are in a cleanup, and that's what it's all about. It has nothing to do with helping our kids or, their mental health. It's all about money.
Heute geben Pharmafirmen über 5,3 Milliarden Dollar pro Jahr für Werbung für rezeptpflichtige Medikamente aus. Fast 9-mal mehr als vor 10 Jahren. Das Resultat? Der weltweite Umsatz von Psychopharmaka stieg auf 80 Milliarden Dollar. Währenddessen ignorieren Psychiater bewusst die verheerenden Konsequenzen ihres Tuns.
I'm 10 years old, and I'm going to read, I think, the side effects of a drug called Daytriana.
The drug Adderall. Luvox. Cymbalta.
Gyudon.
Lexapro.
Namenda. I have a question. Where do I find the side effects? How do I read it if it's so small?
Just a bunch of letters squished together.
I can't read this. This is the side effects of the drug.
Side effects. Stroke.
What the heck?
Speech disorder.
Eye disorders, vision blurred.
Dry mouth. Nervous.
Tremor. Dizziness, delirium, and coma.
Tardive dyskinesia.
They experience worsening of their depression.
Aggressive reaction.
Paranoid reaction.
Psychosis.
Serious cardiovascular events.
Other serious heart problems.
Heart failure.
What? Suicidal thoughts.
Suicidal thinking and behavior. Increases the risk of suicide.
An increased risk of death. Sudden death. These guys must be kidding. Wow.
This is a guess. Seeing this on a warning label, does anybody have any clue what they're putting their kids into?
This isn't good.